All right, so today we are going to learn how to expand and reduce sentences within our writing. It's super important that as a fifth grade writer, you have a variety of sentence lengths. That's what strong writers do. Sometimes you have shorter sentences, very short sentences, sometimes longer. Usually, when it's longer, it's because you're combining ideas in a compound sentence or some sort of complex sentence, which we'll see some examples when you have a dependent and independent clause. We've seen some of those when we've done some different practice with commas. But either way, it is important to look at your writing and say, okay, how can I make a variety of sentence lengths? Sometimes we'll expand, sometimes we will reduce our sentences. So we're going to stop and have a little grammar time. Let's watch this video. Please follow along, and then we'll look at some examples.
Let's expand some sentences. The author of Let's Paint a Rainbow used the illustrations to support her thoughts. When we write, we don't always have illustrations to help support our ideas. We have to use our words to paint the pictures for our readers. Let's learn how to expand our sentences. Number 1, use adjectives to describe. The flower is growing can become the golden flower is growing. Number 2, use verbs that show instead of tell. The golden flower is growing can become the golden flower is stretching. Number 3, tell where or when the sentence is happening. The golden flower is stretching can become in the morning the golden flower is stretching to the sun. Remember, when expanding sentences, add adjectives, use verbs that show, and tell when and where the action is happening. Let's give it a try. I picked a flower can become, in the park I stole a stunning flower this afternoon. In the park and this afternoon, tell where and when. Stole is a verb that shows, and stunning is an adjective. I gave my plant water can become, this morning I poured a cool drink for my thirsty plant. Cool drink and thirsty are both adjectives. Verbs that show is poured, and this morning tells when the action happened. Pick a sentence to expand on your own. Share your sentence with an elbow buddy. My plant needs sun. Plants grow. My mom waters the plants. Great job, friends.
All right, so
Created using Powtoon.
Excellent. As we are thinking about this, definitely with expanding sentences, we talk about being very descriptive. And so that's always important. Good writers, they're going to revise their writing by making sure that their ideas grab and hold the attention of the reader. So we can do this when we're revising, when we're fixing our sentences. We can do this by expanding details. A weak sentence, an example would be, hula is a beautiful Hawaiian dance. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it necessarily, but if we want to make it better, we could say, with its pulsing drums and flowing steps, comma, hula is a beautiful Hawaiian dance. And so anytime you can add, like we said, that's a dependent clause at the beginning of our sentence. With its pulsing drums and flowing steps, comma, hula is a beautiful Hawaiian dance. And those are two ideas. You could say hula has pulsing drums and flowing steps, period. Hula is a beautiful dance. But if you combine them, it shows a stronger writer. As a fifth grader, that's not a sentence that you would be able to compose as a first grader. But now, hopefully, in your reading, you're reading great examples of writing, and now you're able to write these longer sentences. So if you expand the sentence by adding the details, make it more interesting. Here, you can also reduce sentences. When you reduce things, you're going to take away maybe some ideas, and partly it could be confusing, partly it could be a run-on sentence if you're having two ideas together, or it's just not super clear. And so one sentence is, I'll start by saying that I think the dancers move like swaying palm trees. Okay, you really don't need to tell the reader of whoever's reading your stuff, your writing. You don't say, "I'm about to do this," or "I hope you liked my writing," or "Here's an example I'm about to tell you." You don't need that extra little, like you're talking to the reader. You could just say, "The dancers move like swaying palm trees." That's an excellent written sentence, very descriptive. It shows some imagery. You don't say, I'll start by saying that I think. You don't need that. So you can reduce it. So definitely be on the lookout for things that you don't need in your writing. All right. So that's just simply deleting unnecessary words, or if you're repeating yourself. And also, it creates a rhythm with your writing when you have longer sentences and shorter sentences. And so we don't want to have repetition. Look at this example. Hula is fairly simple and not difficult because it is a dance based on just 6 basic moves that dancers do. All right, if you change this up, hula is fairly simple because it's based on just 6 moves. Because if you say it's simple, it's not difficult, that's really the same thing. And so the idea that you really want to emphasize there is there's 6 basic moves to this. That's the point. It's fairly simple. It's not difficult. Those are the same things you're repeating yourself, so you could take that out. And just like I said, delete repetition if possible. So today you are going to have a free write where you get to write about anything you wish, but think about using a variety of sentence lengths. And then I also want you to go back into your quote-unquote final draft of your informational writing. And today specifically, see if you can at least expand one sentence and see if there's anywhere you could reduce a sentence because it's repetitious or confusing or a run-on sentence. I want you to do that. All right, work hard. You guys are awesome, and have a great day.